Crescent City, God bless the city. They say tune when you leave it, feel like God left the city. Got a presidential, a cold like Da Vinci. I'm all about the Benjis. Called my ex and a nigga ballin' out at Wendy's. I'm ballin' like I'm Wimby. Treat 150,000 like $1.50. That's why these $2 bitches always plotting against me. Like a shot of Henny, niggas take shots. I'm too far for shots to hit me. It's lonely at the top, but I'm alone, so it fit me. New Orleans rapper boy, been on top spot, never changed like a leopard boy. Loaded weapon boy, no pen and paper, I ain't trying to write a letter boy. I'm trying to short a boy, dog like Edda boy. You waiting for the smoke to settle, I'm a kettle boy. Just told my mama she a king like Coretta boy. Oh, habits are hard. No daddy, mama's boy. Need a bigger premature. Whole trap behind bars. Oh, habits die hard. No daddy, mama's boy. Whole trap behind bars. Whole family 5-star. Automatic shots off. Need a jacket, Tom Ford. Need a baddie, got yours. Nigga, a manic dry off. Send her back in my drawers. Louisiana hot sauce. I need a bigger bring me joy. Whole trap behind bars. Old habits die hard. No daddy, mama's boy. Whole trap behind bars. All family 5-star. Automatic shots off. Need a jacket, Tom Ford. Need a baddie, got yours. Give romantic dry off. Send her back in my jaws. Louisiana, I'm a New Orleans nigga. Told that nigga in the mirror, you wish me was me, nigga. I shoot up these niggas like a movie scene, nigga. No school degree, nigga, but I'm schooling these niggas and I sleep all night in that pussy. I'ma fall right in that pussy. I go raw high in that pussy. She gon' ride a nigga dick. I'ma joyride in that pussy. She say, tell me this your pussy. I say, don't lie to that pussy. She'll fly. Let him knock the hawk out that pussy. Light skin ting, but there's a dark side to that pussy. She gon' pop that pussy, pop the cork out of that pussy. Got a deep, ooh. Say, y'all, happy Mardi Gras. Shout out to Lil Wayne, the greatest rapper alive, okay? The greatest rapper ever. Fuck that. Shout out to everybody that's just been keeping it real, y'all. I can't believe we even having this conversation. Happy Mardi Gras. Happy Fat Tuesday. About to be Ash Wednesday tomorrow. I did just find that out when I passed by this church. It was had it on a little flasher outside. I'm like, oh, this is when the people put the ashes on their face, I guess. And maybe they stop whatever I don't know. I'm not knocking nobody else's God, but I'm glad my God do not ask me to put no ashes on my face and not give up nothing. Like Jesus said, I can eat whatever I want, whenever I want to. Just as long as if I go over somebody's house and they eating something I don't like, I don't go in there trying to make them feel bad. That's all Jesus said. Just sit down there and eat what you like, but you there to make peace. You there to bring love. Okay, so shout out to everybody who is bringing love. A lot been happening this week. This week has been a week. First of all, I just got to say, I don't know if this is appropriate. My cousin hit me up and said, asked me if my show, shout out to her. She said, is my show gonna be tonight? And I told her yes. And she was like, good, I'll be listening. She said, but try to ease up on the cussing. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't think that I cuss that much, but I think like Southern girls, Southern people, period. That's why we kind of like just dealing with our own people. But Southern people, period, we got a drawl. You know what I'm saying? Our voice kind of sing when we talk. So nothing that we say is really vulgar unless we got to take it up another octave, then some shit jumping off. But otherwise, I don't even hear it like that. But I said, are you trying to show my show to the church? Is that why you're trying to get me to not cuss? But I'm not offended. Shout out to everybody who is just keeping it real. All the love that I got on my Miss Mecca's Take YouTube page, I'm so grateful. No disrespect to anybody. I don't know if this is like ladylike or what, but I just said this to myself. I popped my 500 view cherry this past week on YouTube. I got over 600 views on my 5-minute snippet on If you don't like America, get the fuck out, or something like that. But just go to Miss Mecca's Take. I love your comments. Shout out to all the people that left comments, and for all of my new subscribers, I appreciate y'all so much, y'all. This has been a beautiful thing. And shout out to everybody who most definitely checking me out right now live from Miss Mecca's Take. Thank you so much. I think that this is my 4th Tuesday. I think this is so awesome because I'm trying to figure out, I don't know. Rest in peace to, I was thinking about Julia Roberts and Runaway Bride. You know how I always just feel like, bitch, I'll just go. Like Lil Wayne said, I'll pack up my tools and leave. But what are you always running around for? My brother told me that one time when I was over to the house and we had kind of had a little family disagreement. And my cousin was over there just talking shit, talking shit, talking shit, talking shit. She steady walking up on me. And so, like, why are you walking up on me if you're not ready to get down? Then I turn around and get in her face. And I told her, I said, listen, you need to learn how to control your liquor because I'm finna mop the kitchen floor with your ass. Now everybody want to come at me. You know you can't, you don't need to be talking to her like that. She younger than you. And I said, y'all didn't tell her that when she was running up on me. No, but you know she's scary or whatever. I don't know she's scary because I don't know nothing about scary people that keep walking up on somebody. But anyway, I just left because my house is right around the corner. And I just left out the door and started walking home because I'm just going to go home. Here come my brother pulling up on me. You can't just leave. You can't just leave all the time. Yes, I can. Because I don't want to be in no environment that make me feel like I'm not welcomed or I don't know. It's a toxic trait, I guess. You know, we can't have it all. But I just feel like that I have dealt with so much bullshit ever since I was a little girl that I'm just like, I think a lot of times super sensitive. I was talking to this lady today and she used that term, super sensitive. And she said that but she was talking about her skin and her body. And I thought about myself as she was talking about that. I thought about myself emotionally. I think that I'm like, my exterior is tough because it has to be. But I'm kind of like a mango, I think. You know, a tough exterior, but a gushy insides because I just, I just want to love. I just want to love and be loved. And I don't want no bullshit. And so sometimes bullshit just find me. And I think it find me because I need to be tested. Because I think that you don't really know what's in you. Or what did my granny used to say? You don't know how fast you can run until the right thing get after you. So sometimes I think things come just so you can be tested. And I think sometimes the tests are not validated by what you do, but sometimes by what you don't do, right? Because it's easy to do what's expected. If somebody come to you and they trying to push your buttons, then that means that they want to piss you off. Whether they think they're going to get their ass whooped or not, they just want to get a rise out of you. But you got to start not allowing people. I'm talking to myself and whoever else may need to hear that. You need to stop allowing people to pull that out of you. My grandmother said this to me. I don't remember what she was talking about. I just remember we were having a conversation and she said, Mecca, do you know what you're supposed to do when you realize somebody trying to hurt you? And I was like, I thought she was going to say something so deep and profound. She was just like, don't let them. She was like, when somebody come to pull your energy, basically, you just need to repel them and leave them with their own, So with that being said, shout out to everybody, y'all. It's Mardi Gras. I'm so excited about everybody in the city I was able to see online. I got my beads on. I remember I was in New Orleans and this man on Bourbon Street walked up to me. I bought these beads myself. And really wasn't a lot in the city to represent Mardi Gras. I almost called my friend Roby and asked her where to go get some Mardi Gras attire, but I was scared she was going to tell me somewhere and I didn't have time, but I was going to try to do it, and so I didn't call her. But shout out to Roby and happy birthday again to, what are y'all, Aquarius? Shout out to the Aquarius. Why do every time I think about Aquarius, I think about, remember that song? Before you turn out the lights. Remember that? The Aquarius of the crew. And I would love to. But anyway, shout out to everybody in New Orleans. Shout out to everybody all over the world. I know it's a lot of places in Dallas celebrating Mardi Gras. Shout out to Mobile, Alabama, the original place of Mardi Gras, where I was blessed to go and visit and have an awesome encounter with this veteran. We were on the way to, I was on the way to Biloxi, Mississippi, but often, if it's something a lot going on, like, I don't even want to be in the city, in the main area where it's a lot of people, because I don't like the restrictions that they put on shit. And working in the hospitality industry for a long time, there are certain rates, and also conditions, rules, and regulations that are extended a lot of times when they know it's going to be a group of black people, that aren't usually there, as far as like gratuities and all that type of shit. So whenever it's an event where it's going to be a whole lot of black people in one area, don't say I ain't never gave y'all nothing, because I usually don't share shit like this. But I would usually, if I'm going to see Lil Wayne and it's somewhere, where it's like, with this, and this was so wild because Lil Wayne didn't even show up. And when I got there, I was like, Lil Wayne is not coming to this shit. But I did enjoy myself. I sung and I had my Young Money t-shirt on. I still represented. But when I got there and I got to looking around, I posted this on my Instagram page too, as well as a lot of different concert experiences I've had in different cities. So if you'd like to check that out, or just simply follow me on Instagram, it's Miss Mecca's Take on Instagram. And I think, I'm not really sure what's going on with Facebook. I don't really want to talk about that because I don't know if I'm possibly exposing too much information on there or something, because I haven't really paid attention to it. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. But shout out to all of the people that sent me friend requests and commented on my photo. The last time I was on Facebook, they didn't put, when you change your profile picture, they didn't put it on your timeline. So I was changing my profile picture and didn't even know they was putting all on my timeline. I'm like, oh. And then what is up with y'all on Facebook? Because I've been in Instagram land for like the last 2 years. And we love on Instagram. Like, that's the only way that you can like. It's got to be a love. Y'all ain't putting no love even on the babies on Facebook. What's done happened to y'all? Y'all ain't got no love over there. I was loving all of everybody's pictures, when I was seeing everybody's pictures. I didn't love, and not, I just felt awkward. Like, I'm friends with my baby daddy on Facebook, and he was on there with his wife. They had a little Valentine's, and he came up on my timeline. I was like, I wonder if anybody else ever feel that way. Like, I really don't want to like this shit, but if I don't, I'm not calling their picture shit. I'm calling like other stuff. I really don't want to like this because, I don't feel like I want to like it, but if I don't like it, am I hating? Why don't I just like it? If I like everybody else's stuff, I don't want to start a trend of not liking people's stuff, but it did feel awkward. But I didn't heart it like I hearted everything else. But shout out to my homegirl Tanisha talking about, I can tell when you're on Facebook because you're just through there just hearting everything. I said, I don't connect with nobody I don't love. If I don't love you, your ass is connected to me under a bogus ass name. Because it ain't no any reason for me to interact. I hope and pray I'm not connected to anybody who don't like me in real life. If we can't go sit down and have a drink, exit, bitch. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around any looky-loos, because I know that if I'm connected to you and I see something, I don't even remember. I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we were having a conversation because I seen them. They celebrated, like, I'm praying I'm not bunching up Lil Wayne's face. Anyway, girl, this that Chris. Anyway, it's Mardi Gras. But anyway, my cousin, I was talking to my cousin because I saw some posts, and that's the reason why I was so comfortable not being on Facebook. Because my cousin, happy birthday to my cousin. I think it's today because did I talk to her yesterday and she said it's tomorrow. I called her and I said happy birthday. But anyway, I saw them and they're on there celebrating her birthday. And then she posts, shout out to my, thank you so much to my awesome family for my surprise party. And I'm seeing my mama, two sisters, my cousin, all of these damn people, they all in it, cheesing and shit. And I'm like, so I called my cousin because, like I said, I told her, I was like, I don't know if I told her or if I told my friend. I talked to my friend. I really do have a best friend. Sometimes I be forgetting I have any friends because we don't talk all the time. But when we do get together, that shit is platinum. Shout out to her. Hanging out with her is just like hanging out with myself. And it's probably the reason why we don't hang out a lot because we so much alike. But when we do get together, it's magical. Shout out to her. But I think I might have been talking to her or my cousin. And I said, damn, what did I say? I said, we talking about the whole birthday party. Oh, so it'll come back to me in a minute. But like I said, yeah, they was at the party, and I'm saying she's saying thank you to the surprise party. I just talked to my auntie Saturday morning. She called me and said happy Valentine's and all that. She didn't say anything about a party, but me and my cousin kind of got into a conversation, and she was like, I said, you didn't even respond to my birthday party invitation when I sent it to you. She was like, I didn't see it. You didn't send it to me. She said, you only sent it to my husband. I said, ain't no way in the world I would have just sent something to your husband. I'm not a disrespectful person like that. I only invited him so he couldn't say he wasn't invited, and I wanted both of y'all to come. But anyway,
wait,
we got into this
cousin. Is this the cousin that walked up on you at your brother's house?
That's her sister.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but my cousin, she was like, no, cuz it wasn't personal or anything like that. I know. And I said, well, you didn't even come to my birthday party. You didn't even say happy birthday. She was like, well, cuz I'm not going to even lie. I was in my feelings. And I was like, in your feelings about what? She was like, you don't remember? She was like, we got into it. We got into it bad. I was like, what did we get into it about? She was like, we got into it really, really bad. She said, you called me a bitch and everything. I don't remember any of that. But the reason why I don't remember any of it is because that was not in my heart. It was to the point where I was kind of pushed to that point to even say that. I don't feel like she's a bitch. I don't have nothing against her. But if I hauled off and said bitch, it was because I got frustrated. And I think that the best way for a Leo to call you a bitch is to put words in their mouth. But I love my cousin. I was, you know what I mean? Like I said, I know what it was I was going to say. When I was talking to my best friend, I was like, damn, I done been to the store 3 damn times. And I ain't been able to get no damn saline solution. I keep forgetting. It's like pepper. You keep forgetting because it takes you so long to run out of it that every time you go to the store, you just forget to get it. And so I told my cousin, not my cousin, but my friend, I said, bitch, I wish I was a weak-ass bitch because I need to cry. I need to cry about not being invited to this party, but I wasn't. I wasn't going to cry about it. And my cousin broke it down to me. It was a very valid reason, I think. But I'm going to accept it because I love her so much. Rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. I mean no disrespect when I say this. But ever since I seen Booty Call, every time somebody say Jesse Jackson or I see Jesse Jackson, I hear, what's his name, Jamie Foxx say, the hands used to pick cotton piece of president. The hands used to pick. Okay, so Jamie Foxx is very talented because I was hearing that in my head and it sounded like it's easy to say it's not. Jamie Foxx, when Vivica Fox was asking him, when him and Vivica Fox was messing around on Booty Call, And she was like, "Oh, I want you to do, impersonations." And then Jamie Foxx start talking about Jesse Jackson. She said, "Do Jesse Jackson?" And so he talking about the hands that now used to pick cotton, now picking the president. Vivica Fox said, "Oh, Jesse." But anyway, shout out to Jesse Jackson. Jesse Jackson, a civil rights activist, is so many different things in the streets about Jesse Jackson. All I can tell you is that I grew up in a household where a lot of conversations occurred. That's probably why I talk so much now, because I wasn't allowed to be a part of those conversations, but I would hear the conversations. And one thing that sticks out in my mind about Jesse Jackson is how when he was trying to run for president, like, black people were not trying to see this man be the first black president. They was talking all kind of shit. Like, I heard so many things, like, people, my family just had a lot of different arms, a lot of different people that moved around in a lot of different sectors. So with that being said, it was always something to be learned. It's always, anytime I will run across something that's like grounded in, I don't have to look far. My family is somewhere like in that. So shout out to them. But I just remember people when I was little, even saying stuff like, Jesse Jackson, they didn't trust that Jesse Jackson was completely innocent in the Martin Luther King assassination. It's just what I heard, as a little girl. There were a lot of people that used to say that they didn't really trust him. I did hear some commentary because I listened to a few people talked about him, and I want to say that this was on Jason Whitlock's show, that they talked about how in 1977 that Jesse Jackson wrote an essay against abortion, and he stood on that because, for people that know some things that happened that was kind of scandalous, he had a baby on his wife, and he had the side lady have the baby, and him and his wife stayed together as far as I know. But it's interesting because it seems like that Jesse Jackson, rest in peace to him, started out with good intentions. And he just kind of, for what things that unfold and how I came to understand it, he ended up turning into a person that was just like a race baited, went from trying to help his people. I don't know if they pulled him in a dark room and had a conversation with him or how the shit flipped. But there are a lot of people that believe that he started out with the best of intentions for black people, and he swapped it out for starting to pimp them, and blew a bunch of people up emotionally with a lot of shit and got a lot of money with that Rainbow Coalition. So rest in peace to him. Only God knows, all of us are going to have to go before God. So I pray for his soul, good or bad, whatever was going on. But it's just interesting how a lot of people don't stop and share the story. And I'm wondering, how many people, actually are aware of the truth or willing to share it. Sometimes I feel like the Lone Ranger when I share some things, because I'm like, I'm not that old. I know I wasn't the only one there, but it just come times that people don't even think about it. Like, it just seemed like, and seeing different stuff that people are writing up, just don't even seem like people think about it. So with that being said, this guy, LaRussell, I can't even believe I'm saying his name on Miss Mecca's Take, but he came out with this, Lil Wayne hadn't done any rap that had any substance. And, I know Lil Wayne could care less, like, about any of that shit, because oftentimes when people be looking for Lil Wayne, they be saying, oh, like when all this stuff was going on with Kendrick Lamar, somebody was like, well, when Wayne gonna come out with a response, to the Kendrick Lamar shit. I'm like, pick any, I'm not even going to say your favorite. Pick any 5 Wayne songs and toss them hoes in a bag and bingo bag that shit and pull out one That's the response to Kendrick Lamar. That's the response to anybody in the game. Lil Wayne don't have a god. Lil Wayne don't have nothing to prove, and it's people like me and a lot of others. Shout out to the Wayne, because I mean, I really, let me tell you something. Lil Wayne fans are listening to Lil Wayne music and going out here spreading love in the world. That's what we doing. We don't have time for this shit. We are not no fan base that want to be doing all of this shit, but we not finna sit up there and let you nerdy ass niggas get up and go take a bath and go brush your teeth. Sitting up there on the bed, crumbs in the damn bed, typing some shit about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne done everything that there is to do. Anything you can think about any kind of fallback, comeback, or whatever. And for you people, and this guy that was on Instagram was trying to tell me, Lil Wayne spreading poison. Lil Wayne is telling his truth, which every artist has chosen how they wanted to express themselves. Some people express it by throwing paint on the wall. Some people express it by making sounds with their mouth. Shout out to Dougie Fresh and the Human Beatbox. Some people express it by making music. Shout out to all the awesome producers. And some people make it by telling their life story. Shout out to all the people with a dope autobiography, Terry McMillan and all of those people that told their own life story. Antoine Fisher, The Pursuit of Happiness, all the shit that you love about, you know what I'm saying, the shit that we all should be striving for. It's a bunch of people that be around Lil Wayne, like in his, like, I don't know about his daily personal life, but in his public life, there's always a lot of people. Not like the transition. It's been a transition of, back in the day, it seemed like it used to be like a lot of like the homies. Now it seems like there's a lot of people that's about business. And so with that being said, people are having access, to Lil Wayne's personal life. So if Lil Wayne talk about doing a particular drug, I'm not saying I'm excusing Wayne doing a drug or that I want Wayne to do a drug. I'm pretty sure he done expressed himself about not wanting to do drugs. But Wayne just cares so much about his art. I just believe that he keeping it 1,000 with us on the record because of some people in his life or people that's been in his private spaces that know the truth. And he just real enough to speak his truth. He's not telling anybody to go do it. Like he said on Katie Couric, if you need instructions on how to live your life, then you just simply shouldn't have been born. I've been listening to Lil Wayne for, I don't even, I'm talking about gangsters and pimps, okay? Love lobsters and shrimp, Kool-Aid and chicken, okay? All I need. Listen. Since the 90s, I ain't never been thought about going to do no drug. I ain't got not one tattoo. Because I'm my own person. And you got to be an intelligent person to even fuck with Lil Wayne. Like, Lil Wayne just so huge and so monumental that he done crossed paths with somebody that you know. Because truth be told, if Wayne probably wasn't on some of these features, I'm not saying that people wouldn't have known him, because I'm talking about, I done talked to 88-year-old white ladies that say they know exactly who Lil Wayne is. So with that being said, everything lined up the way that it's supposed to. But if you're on the internet or anywhere dissing Lil Wayne, you need to take a good look at yourself, because that man is not out here doing nothing but him. And if you was doing you, then you would understand. Quit trying to look at somebody else to validate yourself. You want to try to wait. You think you kicking Lil Wayne when he down, bitch? We didn't even know who you was. You had to say his name for you to come across our path. So with all that being said, I don't know how many times I'm going to respond or if I'm going to respond again. If the shit moved me, I am. Forgive me, Lil Wayne, because you ain't asked me to speak for you, but fuck them. I put this ring around this finger because I thought about it when I seen it in my little makeup bag. I said, think about it. Middle finger, diamond ring around it. This dick a star come suck the twinkle out of. Shout out to Lil Wayne, man. Lil Wayne is one of a kind. Ain't no damn body ever done. Whatever you want to call it. You know why you can't say the Lil Wayne music ain't got substance? Because the shit Lil Wayne doing don't have a name for none of the shit that you understand. That shit got a definition that can't even be described. Just enjoy the music and go fuck with what you like. What do you like? Go support what you like. Who sit around and hate? You found all the Lil Wayne fans listening to Lil Wayne on his radar. That's why we're responding to you. But we'd much rather be listening to Lil Wayne. That's what we want to do. We don't want to be going back and forth with all of that bullshit. Just remember this, and I'm going to wrap this part of this discussion up. You had to mention him to do what you're doing. And you knew what mentioning him was going to do for you. Because a bad bitch turned 18 every day, B. And I don't see y'all posting about none of these other people. Quit being a little pussy, okay? There's some real shit going on with Jay-Z. Type about that shit. Y'all think he gonna come get you? Beyonce is gonna cast a spell on y'all. That's why the fuck y'all fucking with Lil Wayne. Bitch, you casting a spell on yourself fucking with Lil Wayne. Okay, so I said that was all I was gonna say. What else was I gonna talk about? It's Mardi Gras. I did leave y'all hanging on the story about, I said I don't like staying in the hotels in the areas where they put all them weird ass gratuities and stuff on Black Beach and all of that. But I did end up going and staying in Biloxi, Mississippi, which was about 50 minutes away. And so I ended up staying in Biloxi and getting ready to fly into Mobile. Mobile, Alabama is about 50 minutes away from Biloxi, Mississippi, where this Black Beach concert event was going on, I believe, like around spring break or something. And once I found out that was what it was, and I seen all of them high hotel rates for the casinos and stuff, I was like, casino rates are not $600 a night for just a deluxe room. There's some shit going on. So I ended up staying like 50 minutes away. Plus, I like a good road trip, scenic shit. You know, I'm grateful I ain't never ran up on no wrong turn ass shit, but I like a scenic rap, especially when I'm by myself, especially when I'm on my way to the concert, because I get to work on my raps. The set list is loaded in my phone. Loaded in my phone. But anyway, I ended up was supposed to fly into Mobile, Alabama. And there was a bad storm that night. So they ended up closing down the hotel. I mean, they put us on the plane. They taxied around the runway. Then they took us back to the gate talking about, we're going to let y'all stretch your legs, only to get us all off the plane and tell us the flight was canceled. So anyway, the flight was canceled. Interestingly, I had a first class ticket. And so since I had first class, I was priority for the next flight, but it wasn't until the next morning. There was an old man there, an old veteran, and I think he was like 89 years old. He had come to Dallas for his niece's wedding. His brother, who was deceased, had a daughter, and his brother's granddaughter was what it was. And he wanted to be there, because, but anyway, when I was getting ready to leave after they told us that the flights were canceled, he said, well, I guess I'm going to, and all of the hotels were full all around the airport. So people were just camping out on the floor. And so he said, well, I guess I'm going to have to sit in a chair and sleep. He said, because these old knees, if I get on the ground, I'm not going to be able to get up. So I was like, I don't want to sleep on the floor. I want to go back home. My car is in the garage. And I started leaving. And the whole time I'm telling myself, Mecca, don't go get this man. Don't go get this man. Next thing you know, I'm saying that, but I go back and get him. So I said, well, if you want to, you can come to my house and stay. And I'll come get you on the plane in the morning, And I told the people, I told him that he was my uncle and that I needed to fly with him. He almost 90 years old. So they ended up raising his class up, putting both of us priority for the next morning. We went to my house. And the next flight, I think, was like at 11 or something the next morning. We got up the next morning, had breakfast, we sat down, we talked. My kids didn't expect for me to come back, so they didn't really understand what was going on or who this man was that was on our couch on the covers. But we ended up having a nice breakfast, and anyway, getting back to the airport the next morning, we flew out, made it into Mobile, got his information, and he got my information, and I was getting ready because now I'm in town the day of the concert. I was trying to come in the day before, but now since that flight was canceled, I'm the day of the concert now. So I don't have time to do nothing but pick up the rental car, go to the hotel, because remember, I got almost an hour to drive to to Biloxi. But while I'm on my way, his daughter called me, and she was so overwhelmingly grateful about how kind I was that I took care of her dad. She said they were so worried about him, thinking he was stuck in the airport and blah, blah, blah. So it was so beautiful because the next day, which was a Sunday, they took me out to dinner. I learned so much about Mobile, Alabama. This family took me to a very nice steakhouse. The restaurants were limited in Mobile because Mobile is like a little time capsule. Like the lady that was at the front desk, she had a little red afro like they used to wear back in the day with an open face gold in the front with a star on it, but she was sweet as apple pie. Like everybody I encountered in Mobile, plus the airport was phenomenal. And that's like another one of the reasons why I love just kind of just shaking it up and figuring out where I'm going to be able to afford to go see Lil Wayne, because it always comes with an awesome experience like that. So I learned in hanging out with those people who were from Mobile, Alabama, that Mardi Gras originated in Mobile. That was the original place of Mardi Gras. I would have never known that if nobody has ever told me that. I always thought it was New Orleans. And of course, New Orleans is where it's celebrated heaviest. But to just be able to talk to these people that were born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, and them share with me the whole history of the town, and it was just an amazing experience. So I will always love Mobile, Alabama. I ended up also having an awesome conversation with this lady in the airport because the people at the rental car place, because remember, my trip is thrown off, so in order to not be charged for another day, I got to bring the rental car back early because I picked it up in the morning. Now I was supposed to be picking it up at night before. So anyway, I'm in the ladies at the rental car place, they're like, it's a nice little place. It's not much to offer, in the Mobile airport, but there is a place that has a nice little cafe. They have an awesome hamburger. So I went over there. I done walked past the place 3 times because it looked like a convenience store, but it's a restaurant in the back. But anyway, shout out to the lady that was at the bar. This has been years ago. She was so cool. I was drinking Jack Daniel and Coke. I had several hours before I was supposed to get on my plane, but it was nothing going on in the airport. But anyway, I had an awesome hamburger on a paper plate in the airport. That was beautiful. I'm not talking about a paper plate like, those nice brown ones that they serve you on sometimes. I'm talking about a Dixie one, like the one you go get and have in your house with the little flowers on it and everything. But that was a good hamburger. And I was drinking Jack Daniels, and the lady that was serving me started drinking Jack Daniels. And we had an amazing time and awesome conversation. So shout out to them and all the awesome people that I've had the blessed opportunity to meet down through the years. I did have, damn, man. Let's see. What was I going to talk about? I got my note cards. I want to get them. Let me get them. I cannot believe I am attached, but not attached to these damn note cards. But I bought them, and I want to use them. All right, so, gotta have my other glasses for this. Can't be cool when it's time to read. Gotta have some shit that works. Okay. Yeah, so I said this earlier. This was just something that ran across my mind earlier this week. It was just like, I don't like, Montana, we were talking about this a little bit off air. I'm sick and tired of the AI. I'm sick and tired of the algorithm. Just let people, let it flow. I follow, according to my Instagram page, I follow 3,000 people.
Wow.
But I only see the same people. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind seeing those people. But I don't want to just see the same 6 or 7 people all the time. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to see the same 6 and 7 people all the time every day just because I'm interacting with their post.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think you must be interacting with those people, or
But
they're interacting with you. That's why you see it.
but don't you think we want to see something else? What about the other 3,000? That's only 8 people.
But see, some of those people may not even be active.
But out of 3,000, it's got to be more than 6.
Well, yeah.
And see now, and the thing about it is that it's cool. But I have one page that all it posts is like memes and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and I like the memes and I interact with them. But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it feel like it's one person with 3 pages because they all kind of post the same thing and they all kind of interact with me the same way. I don't know who this is, but I feel awkward because I feel awkward because I feel like that I don't want to stop interacting with them, but I want to see some different stuff sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
So you might just have to randomly go through your followers and just pick people randomly and start interacting with them.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Um, I don't even know what this means. I know what that means, but I was reading my devotional and I was thinking about it was interesting because I saw this name Cephas, which is translated to Simon or translated to Peter. Sometimes when I'm reading the Bible, I'm kind of confused on if Simon and Peter and Cephas, if that's all the same person that just got their name changed 3 times. I don't know, but it was interesting that the thought that came to me when I was reading that, and it was when Jesus was naming him. So Jesus was like, "Your name is Cephas." Wait, let me look at it. So I was, it was John 1:42. And it says, okay. He said, and he brought him to Jesus. Jesus looked at him and said, "You are Simon, son of John. You will be called Cephas, which is when translated is Peter." Okay. So his name was Simon, John's son. But then Jesus said, "But you'll be called Cephas," and then Cephas translates to Peter. So that is one person. But I was thinking about how everybody has a name because I don't know why I remembered when I read that was Offset's last name. I believe his name
Oh,
is
okay.
Kiari Cephas. And so I was tripping when I realized that, and I just kind of was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, wow. I'm like, wow, okay, if this name is in the Bible, where Simon, Jesus, when they brought him to Jesus, Jesus said, "You are Simon, son of John, but you will be called Cephas." But when Cephas is translated, I guess, from Hebrew, it's Peter, and that's why we read it Peter in our Bible. But then I got to thinking about the fact that was Offset's last name. I think his name is Kiari Cephas, I think, or something like that. And I was tripping because I was thinking to myself, I think a lot of people, like I'm thinking, how did Cephas end up being his last name? Where did that start from? And I think the conclusion that I drew was a lot of people out here real fucked up because they think that they thinking about a white person naming them or or somebody else naming you and telling you who you are. When who you really are, even though that may not be the name, it might be translated and mean something else. But I believe that not only were we given a purpose, we were also given a name. That's the reason why I feel like every name has a meaning. So I think that if you want to get to a point to where you don't see yourself as a loser, you need to consider and go back to the fact that Jesus named people. God named objects. It was named something for a specific purpose. You were named what you're named for a specific purpose. My mom said she don't even know where my name came from. I don't know if she's telling the truth about that or not, because if that's the case, wow. My daughter, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, my daughter, who is amazing at sculpting and making things with her hands, I don't know where she got that shit from, but sometimes I look at stuff that she's drawn or designed or made, and I'm like, I had that? Like, I had somebody know how to do that. But she was making a sculpture for me for my birthday. And she just was like, Mom, what's your middle name? And when I told her my middle name was Ishan, she was like, okay. And then she called me back and she was like, Mama, she was like, why do you have that name? She was like, your name is Mecca Ishan. Ishan means from God. I'm all excited thinking, I'm finna call my mama. Mama, did you know? She was like, I was like, did you know this, what Mecca mean or what Ishan mean? I was like, you didn't think about, putting that together? I said, what was you thinking about? I don't know. I just was thinking I like the way it sounds. I was like, wow, to come up with something like that, because, baby, I'm glad she didn't like the way, Captain Crunch sound. Like, girl, you didn't think about it that much, like she didn't know. So I thought that was really awesome. And so I feel like that, even if your name didn't come about like that, I still believe that God had his own way of arranging things that you got the name that you got. So look into it, and just be that completely. What was I thinking about? Oh my God. So the girls, did you see where the girls jumped the girl in the nail shop on
Yes.
Valentine's?
Yes, I did see that. What did you think about it?
I thought that was some bullshit.
That they jumped her?
Period. Like, you're in public with other people, you're in someone's business. You in here as a patron. You didn't pay for shit in here. Then you making my spot hot because people that probably don't want to come in here, you probably wanted to do all of that. But my question is why?
So did you see the backstory on it?
I don't care what the
You don't
backstory
care what the
was.
backstory.
Because why would you go into someone's place of business?
I don't think that's how it went. I think
Okay.
the girl had been looking for this girl. She stole money from the girl's mama. I
Okay.
believe she said $1,600 or something,
Uh-huh.
and was basically taunting this girl and her mama through her TikTok, like, y'all never gonna find me, y'all never gonna get me. And it had been some time. I thought the girl said a year. But anyway, the girl had been taunting her on her TikTok. You're not gonna find me. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get your money back. And so the girl, it seems as though the one girl just happened to be at this nail shop, not knowing that she was gonna run into that girl. So it's two videos. The first video is of her approaching the girl like, I thought I'd never see you. And you thought you would never see me, and here we are. We, after all this time, like, I finally see you. And the girl, with the blonde wig, she thought it was funny. She was like,
Well, okay.
And
Didn't
she
it?
warned her. She did.
Okay, but the
when
thing
she
about
walked
it
out of
is,
there, she turned to her and she said, "I'm gonna beat your ass." And she walked out of there, and a few seconds later, she must have told somebody, "Guess who's in here? The girl is in here." And they went. You know, I felt
so
like she should have got up and left.
yeah, because wasn't it Bad Barbie that was on Dr. Ville? They said, "Catch me outside, see about that." If a
I don't
country
know.
ass white girl that talk
Okay.
like that got enough
Yeah.
sense to catch you outside, catch him outside. Respect business. Because that's why people look at us and don't want to see us coming in business.
Yeah.
People that have built something, you have built something, I have built something. Don't bring that shit to my spot, man. This
Yeah.
is not your spot.
I agree. You know,
You
I
know what
wouldn't
I'm
want to see
saying?
that as a
It'd be
business
just like the
owner.
same thing. I'm sitting in here, and
Yeah.
bitch, I gotta go outside. I gotta go to my car. You can follow me to my house, but nothing gives you the right to disturb another person's business and their property. And that's the problem, I think. I don't give a fuck what angle it is at. Our people are being stifled because we try to say, well, what about when other people do it? It does not matter. To whom much is given, much is required. God said that.
True.
And so we got a lot. And so since we got a lot, much more is going to be required of us. We can't get out there and act like everybody else. The worst whooping back when they was giving whoopings out, the worst ass whooping you got was the one when Granny said you knew better. People got to understand that the leeway that you have is so you can exercise your obedience to God in doing the right thing. If you want to whoop somebody's ass in the street. You got all that air and opportunity. Don't come in here and disrupting people's business, because I know if I would have been in there getting my nails done, my schedule don't give me time for that bullshit to be straightened out. And nobody wasn't getting their nails done while they in there on that bullshit. And bitch, I don't give a fuck if I did steal your mama money. Call the motherfucking police. That still don't give you the right to put your hands on me. Don't come up and run up and think that you're supposed to chastise me. People get stolen from every day. All kind of shit happens. It's never a justification. Listen, nothing
You just said,
justifies.
to whom much is required, to whom
Much
much is given, much is
required.
So
Yeah.
that goes all the way around.
It goes all the way around, but you don't
does.
never have the right to disrupt nobody's property. These whack ass bitches out here busting out windows and whack ass niggas busting out windows, they need to lock them motherfuckers up for the rest of their life. Cause bitch, I don't want to live in the same area and share the same air with an animal that's walking around like a person. Get your ass out there in the jungle. Cause I swear to God, Lord, I'm sorry, cause I shouldn't have even said your name in this. If I ever see somebody busting my windows out, I'm gonna try to kill them, because you don't need to be on earth. So I'm going to try to take a bat, jackhammer, rock, whatever I can, and knock your head clean off. Because the earth, you don't deserve to have to deal with people like you. What the fuck you feeling don't have nothing to do with my property. You got legal ways to go handle whatever, you know what I'm saying, problem you might have. Everybody plays the fool sometime.
Sure, but you cannot expect to think that
You
you're going to do
cannot
some
expect to
things
think.
and that somebody is not going.
And I absolutely get that, but that's
Yeah,
not
you
your
can't
shit.
expect to think
That's
that.
not your shit.
Can't.
You can't go up in, and this is what holds our people back. This right here, because we think we can find a justification to doing shit you're not supposed to do. There is no justification for doing
either
shit
way,
you ain't
for
supposed to
stealing
do.
from the girl
yeah,
mama
but you don't
or
get to
her.
be
It was
God in somebody's
two
life.
rights
You don't get
make
to
a
be the
wrong and
police.
3 rights make a left.
No,
So
listen,
nobody was right.
Like I said,
Nobody.
was right, but the people that disrupted them people's business was dead wrong. Because that's not your shit. This is somebody's place of business. They have built something. They don't deserve to have you in here bringing your personal shit inside. As a matter of fact, speaking of the police don't even handle personal shit. So what make you fucking think you supposed to? And they got goddamn license to kill. They don't even get in personal shit. If me and you are roommates and the police come out there and you say you mad at me because I took your shirt, they gonna tell us we need to take it to court. That's a civil matter. We don't handle that. So what make you think you supposed to be out there and doing it? And see, at the end of the day, people want to talk about that and glorify that, but they not talking about how many of these people that's on that same bullshit that's getting their ass tore up off the bone. Because everybody not out here taking ass whoopings. And people that's really out here stealing, they packing too. And they'll bust you in your ass even if they was dead wrong.
She should have been prepared.
So at the end of the day, it's not about her being prepared because it's not even about them. It's about us looking like some fucking animals out here in front of all kinds of people who don't get a chance to go home and see the good side of us, but yet and still we get pissed off saying that we don't have no respect from nobody when we disrespect ourselves. Because it ain't no reason in the world and in the hell. Your mama $1,600, that don't give you the damn right to run up in somebody else's business. Now, if it was her business, the bitch they was jumping, that's one thing. Because, okay, if you want to go over there and tear up her shit and you want to go take your mama, but you don't have nothing on this. And then people got their shit insured. Every time you file an insurance claim, the insurance goes up. That's why I'll never forget when I moved and my damn insurance went up. And I was like, what the hell? Why did my insurance go up $60 damn a month for the same damn car? You know what Geico told me? You're in a high risk area. That zip code right there has a lot of car thefts and car burglaries and shit. So now I got to pay $60 more in a place where black people always complaining they getting the short end of the stick and they don't get paid as much as everybody else. We steady tax ourselves because I got to pay because Ray and them breaking in cars. So now I got to pay an extra $60 because cars getting broke in my zip code. And at the end of the day, what's not honest and really not fair about it is that I understood and I was made to understand on that day that 75232 carries a long span of Dallas, but 75232 also holds some of the richest real estate in Oak Cliff. So why should those people, just because y'all connecting 75232 with Hampton and Ledbetter, why do people on Bar Harbor got to pay more? Because they all in the same zip code. That's not cool. But at the end of the day, like I said about the stealing, nobody is going to, nobody in their right mind and nobody who you would even want to do business with is going to allow you to cost them. They're going to pass that cost back to you and your community. Them people and they private jets and they diamond rings and they women that they know is out of their league and all of that shit so you can steal. You just going to have to now pay $10 to wash your ass when you used to could do it for $3. And the shit is going to go up and up and up. I used to work in a forecasting department. They look at the projections for the year going forward. They look at the last 3 quarters. They look at the profit and loss, and they decide what they're going to price. So you going in the store thinking you get the 5-finger discount. When you find Jesus, you ain't going to even be able to afford to brush your teeth. Get up off the bullshit, okay? Because it's costing you where it shouldn't cost you. These people are not going to give up their profits because their profits put them in a position to do the shit that they want to do, which is get money from other places. If they look like they keep on taking losses, then they look like they're at risk for bankruptcy, and other people that they need to do business with to get the shit to you that they need to get in your corner store, they don't want to fuck with them. So they're not going to take the loss. They're always going to make sure they come out on top because they're not going to ruin their credibility because you ain't got sense enough to know and ain't nobody cared enough to tell you that you're hurting yourself. So stop. Okay? I love you. I don't want to see you go down. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, in the mix like that anyway. But I do know how the game go. Understand who you are, how valuable you are. If you don't think you're valuable, then imagine if all the black people, I'm talking to my black people right now, imagine if all the black people left Dallas, Texas. Every goddamn corner store and all that shit owned by the Asians, Indians, and all of that kind of stuff will have to close down because we're the only people doing business with them. That's no shade to nobody, but don't let nobody treat you like you're not valuable because there is no them without you. All right. I will see y'all next week. I love you.